views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hello and welcome to Open 2.0. I'm your host, Gisele Molina. Elevate New York is a high-quality youth development program accredited by New York City Department of Education. Within a school, they offer an elective that aims to teach character, quality, and life skills to high school students who in turn teach neighboring elementary students the lessons they have learned. Here to share more, please welcome Kevin Singleton, founder of Elevate New York. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here, Gisele.
Yes, awesome. So let's get down to business. What is Elevate New York about?
Well, we really feel like it's our job to build relationships with inner city students. So our mission is building long-term, life-changing relationships with urban youth. Our vision is raising up the next generation of urban leaders. And our purpose is we believe we're there to provide a relational solution to the educational problem.
Nice. And when was this program founded, established?
Sure. So Elevate New York was founded 7 years ago. We actually just finished our 7th year in the classroom today.
Wow.
But it's based off of a 35-year-old program called Colorado Uplift that started in Denver, Colorado.
Did it have a similar background?
It's the exact same. We are an exact model replication. So 9 years ago, Colorado Uplift replicated first in Orlando, then in Phoenix, and then we were third in New York, and then Portland was fourth. Now there's Indianapolis, Boston, and there's now a new organization called Elevate the USA, and they are bringing on new cities all the time.
Nice. And you're the founder, but who were other people involved in the creation of this program?
Well, Kent Hutchison was actually the original person in Denver. Mike Painter, who's a good friend of mine, he's the president of Colorado Uplift. And, you know, it's been a bunch of people over the years. You can imagine after 35 years of doing a program in Denver, they've had hundreds and hundreds of staff, and they work with about 5,500 kids every day in the Denver public schools. So we learn from the students, but the staff also helps to create the curriculum, helps to create the after school. Because we're not only in school, we're in school, after school, adventure, and post-secondary. So it's 4 program components that completes our whole program.
Nice. And I wanted to go into a little bit of background on yourself.
Sure.
You know, in regards to your own childhood, since this is mentoring, you know, elementary school students, and it extends. So did your childhood play a role in the creation of this program?
It didn't play a role in the creation of it, but the longer I'm in the program, I realize that part of the reason I'm so passionate about it is because of my childhood. So my father actually graduated from Harvard in 1971 with a master's in business. So think about it, a black man on Harvard's campus in 1969.
Yeah.
That was my dad. But he could not build a relationship with my mom. He couldn't build relationships. He wasn't in my life. I saw him once a year, right? And so these are the kind of students that I work with every day in our, you know, in the Bronx, is that their dads are not there. Or maybe their mom's not there and they're living, you know, they're living with a dad, or you know, the parents aren't supportive for them. Many of our students, they're going to be the first person to ever graduate from high school, ever go to college.
Right.
And so our program exists really to have caring adults to be there for those students, to give them exposure and also access to mentors. We call ourselves teacher mentors because we teach every day, but also we mentor after school, but to give themselves access to teacher mentors who have had some experiences that they want to have eventually.
So in regards to that, you're speaking about relating to the students, but what are other approaches that you take to kind of cracking the shell between these students who may have gone through these bad childhoods or tough childhoods?
Well, one of the things that's important is consistency. So the fact that, you know, so our class is taught as an elective, and so that means they see us every single day.
Right.
It's not like there are other great programs that are after school only programs, but the advantage we have is that they see us every single day as a part of their school schedule. So I think one of the big things we do to crack that shell is we're just consistent. They know they're gonna see Mr. Kevin, or if we've gotten close to Theo Kev or Papa Kev, you know, as as they go throughout the school day. And you know, we've had staff in the past. We had to lay off some staff because we lost some funding, but our volunteers, they know they're going to see these volunteers, these people who care about them every single day. So I think that's one of the biggest things we do, is we just show up every single day. The other thing we do is food. We like to say the word eat and ate are both in Elevate. So if you look at our budget, we spend a lot of time hanging out with kids in restaurants. And part of our after-school program, we take our students down to a boardroom in Times Square called Instanet. And they always have pizza and cookies for us. And, you know, eating is I think it's a very powerful thing, because we all have to eat to survive.
Right.
But it's a very vulnerable thing as well. And so we spend a lot of time just hanging out with students and eating. But here's the other thing. For many of our students, lunch is the last really good meal that they're going to have until breakfast back at school the next day. So we also realize that we're breaking that shell, or we're breaking down those barriers by providing them some meals.
Nice. And why do you think this program is essential to the community?
Well, I think it's essential because everybody deserves a high school education. You know, I mean, I think it's almost like a human right. You know, a lot of people can do successful things in life if they don't have a college degree. And I know you guys are college students.
Yeah.
But there's some people, you can go through a list of names of people that have done great things not graduating from college. But you've got to have that high school degree. It proves to anybody that's going to be an employer, it proves to yourself even that, man, I can accomplish something. So we feel that because we have a 98% graduation rate, and
Wow.
in our neighborhood, it's around 58 to 65%, depending on what studies
So
you
they
read.
take up the majority of that graduation rate.
Well, no, it's just that any kid who's in our program, we know that they're going to have a 95 to 98% chance of graduating, as opposed to kids in the neighborhood who won't have that same chance. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
And definitely I want you to elaborate more on that, but we're
Okay.
going to take a quick break. So
All right.
we're going to take a break, but stay tuned. There's more Open 2.0 coming up next.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can.
Get someone a cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates, our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can intervene.
It's on us.
All of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back. We're continuing our conversation with Kevin Singleton of Elevate New York. So when we last left off, you were mentioning graduation rates and basically the accomplishments that your students have had. But what are some of the obstacles you faced in the establishment of this program and maintaining the program?
Sure. I think our main obstacle has been funding. When I started this, I didn't know what I was doing, to be honest with you. So a little backstory on me. In 1987, I graduated from college, and so these gray highlights are real. And
Wisdom.
So, yeah, wisdom. There you go. There you go. And so what I did for about 20 years is I traveled the world, and I spoke to about 3 million students in high schools and junior high schools and colleges in about 20 countries around the world. And so that became kind of the foundation of this program, right? I just forgot what your question was. I had a 50s moment. Ask me again.
What are some of the obstacles? You mentioned
Oh
funding.
yes, there you go.
College, gray hairs, wisdom.
That's right. And so I'd never run a program like this. And so I had to learn. So not only am I the founder, but I'm the executive director. And when I started, I was the chairman of the board. So I had to learn how to chair a board, build a board of directors, lead that board of directors, run a company, and teach a class, right? And do after school stuff. It's not the best business model, but I did learn a lot of things. I think one of the most difficult things is fundraising, because based on your network of people, that's how you raise money. Fundraising is based on relationships. And so a lot of people knew the work that I had done before working with kids around the world, and they were some of the people who had given money at the beginning. Now we're starting to get money from the Department of Ed, from the Bronx Borough President's Office, from family foundations.
Nice.
And so our biggest obstacle has been my learning curve on fundraising. But we're going to get it.
But it seems like you have the support of the community. So
We do.
in regards to that, what has the response been throughout the community with this program? How have they received this?
Well, it's been awesome, and we actually just did a trip to Washington, D.C., kind of a year-end trip with some parents and students. And it was just great to hear the positive feedback from parents. Even some of the kids who are in middle school, who are going to be in high school next year, saying that they want to be in the program. So we had nothing but positive feedback, and the community has been very supportive. The Bronx Borough President's Office actually gave our school a $189,000 computer lab a few years ago, and that was based off of a relationship that we have through Elevate, and now our school has this amazing computer lab.
Nice. And where do you see this program going 3 to 5 years from now?
So 3 to 5 years from now, I would love to be in as many pipelines as we can. Now, a pipeline is a high school, feeder middle schools, and feeder elementary schools. As you mentioned earlier in your open, the high school students go and teach elementary school students 1 day a week. They teach what they've learned, which is a powerful component of what we do. But also, we want to track those kids through middle school and then bring them into our high school program. So when you have those 3 levels working together, that's one pipeline. And so the more pipelines we can build, and it's all based on funding. I've got about 6 people right now who would leave their current jobs and come and work for Uncle Kev because they see the work that we're doing.
The networking and the outcome overall.
That's exactly right. The power of the program in the lives of kids, and people want to be a part of that.
Nice. And where can people find out more about Elevate New York?
Sure. Well, you can go to our website, which is www.elevatenewyork.org, and New York is spelled out. So if you put NY, you won't find us. And you can also email me at info@elevatenewyork.org.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for this opportunity.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. We'll see you next time right here on Open 2.0.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed.
I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it.
I just want my family to be safe.
But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can.
Get someone a cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates, our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can intervene.
It's on us.